Hi everyone, welcome back. We are here today on the Astonishing Q&A and we have one of our astonishing couples, Mrs. Lauren Anderson and Mr. Warren Anderson. They recently got married, which started the birth of just the two of us. So today we are going to interview them so they can share their experience of also just recently having their wedding and postponing their original wedding to celebrate with their family and friends. So Lauren and Warren, tell us a little bit about yourself. How did you guys meet?
Yeah, so we actually met online, dating app, as many millennials are doing so nowadays. I think when we first met, we were in the back of our mind very intentional, but then we brought it to the forefront that, we're in this for a purpose, and we know that we were brought together for a reason, and it's been an exciting road ever since.
So you guys recently got married on April 25th. Mm-hmm. What was so special about April 25th? How long have you guys been dating? What made you guys choose April 25th, 2020?
So our first date was April 25th of 2018. So we were really wanting to have April 25th of 2020 to be our special date, particularly because it fell on a Saturday and it was like our 2-year anniversary. So it was a very special day to us. So we wanted to maintain that as our anniversary. Make it easy for them.
Yeah.
So tell us about your wedding. So your wedding was originally for 425. Mm-hmm. Where was it at? I know it was at the famous Ritz-Carlton in the Pentagon City. So what all was special about your wedding? What vendors did you have booked, and tell us a little bit about that.
So yes, we were having our wedding at the Ritz-Carlton in Pentagon City. It was going to be very intimate, which is something that we had talked about beforehand. And so we had an amazing wedding planner, The Astonished Events.
Thank you.
Our photographer was Stan Love Photography. Mm-hmm. Our amazing florist, Pretty Petals Florals. We also had... who else? Sock Vision for video, and DJ Oxygen.
Pastor.
Our pastors were coming from Texas. Mm-hmm. They actually baptized me, so they were coming to marry me, and so that didn't work out. But
and stationery.
Dami. Yes, stationery. She's amazing, Dami. And so many, there's so many people that were involved in our special day. Hair and makeup, yes. Yeah. Butte Elevated, Linens, 27 Studios. So we had a lot of people that were supporting us.
So me being your planner, I know how it was. It was actually a very easy transition to have to postpone their wedding. So what made you guys choose to postpone to September versus next year?
Threw you off with that. Well, our planner really encouraged it. No, I think, definitely you and I had a lot of conversations. It was not an easy decision, mainly because I was really hoping that 425 would be our day, and having to kind of give that up. I was thinking that 2021, it fell on a Sunday, so I was thinking that would work, but just really wanting our family and our friends to have an opportunity to celebrate with us was really important, and thinking that we would be out of COVID by then, and hopefully that will be the case. It would be everybody would be ready to celebrate.
Right.
Yes, we're out of the house, we can celebrate and have some fun. And so September 20th, it was actually perfect. All of our vendors were available that day. The location was available that day. Warren was available that day. So it just really, worked out. It really worked out for us.
And just a tip of advice, me being their planner, a lot of their vendors were on my preferred list. So it made it just such an easy transition to be able to text the planner or text the whole team and just say, hey, are you guys available for this day? We're having to postpone their wedding, amongst many other weddings they're having to deal with for postponement. So they made it easy, and I appreciate all of you. And we're praying that we can still have this beautiful celebration with your family and friends on September 20th.
Yeah.
So since we postponed to September 20th, let's just go backwards. 4/25. Tell us about that day. How was it getting married on your actual day with just the two of you apparently.
I thought it was, in the grand scheme of it, like, there was still effort that was put into that day leading up to, scouting some places, determining where we wanted to have the ceremony, all throughout COVID, not knowing, what obstacles we would face that day. But ultimately, we landed on the day. I felt at some points throughout the day, throughout the morning, I did feel like, hey, this is what it's gonna be like in September, right? This is the trial run. And it was still exciting, getting dressed, near my father, knowing that Lauren's, on her way downtown and about to walk up the steps, there's still a lot of excitement.
And not seeing each other.
Yeah, we didn't. Lauren was really adamant on like not FaceTiming me that week because you said so.
Yeah,
we didn't talk for 2 days. I mean, he texted me like a prayer the morning of and then like the day before, but we didn't have like a typical conversation that we would have had like the 2 days prior because he was really trying to make it special. So that was sweet.
Yeah.
But for me, I was really wanting to protect the day in terms of like our family and friends because like 85% of our guests are traveling by plane. So I think we had, of our guests of 66, less than 20 were local.
Right.
And so for me, trying to take into consideration everybody's feelings about the day, which, is a plus or minus for some brides. It was very important to me that we protect and, make it as sacred and intimate as possible.
And that's very important because marriage is a true commitment. So I really love that. I know it's tough on you. A lot of conversation, a lot of praying, a lot of faith, but crying. Yeah. But I'm really glad that you guys chose to still resume and just get married and celebrate with your loved ones later.
Yeah.
So on the day, walking down the aisle, how did that feel since it was just the two of you?
It was, I don't want to say bittersweet because it was the most amazing day of my life. But, Warren's mom wasn't there, who I'm really close to. Of course, my mom wasn't there. And so it was just a moment of like, I love this man. I'm so happy to marry him. But, the two most important people to us not being there, it just was kind of like, it just, it felt
different.
It was different. It's not what you dream of. But at the end of the day, like you said, the commitment to one another was the most important thing. And so we got to do that in a really special way.
And Lauren said the mothers were not there, but they were actually present on FaceTime.
Yeah, they were.
So that was really sweet. They got to watch it live on FaceTime and give you off. So it was special. It was still very special to have them there. Now, going forward a little bit, Lauren had a nice surprise for her by her now husband, Warren. Warren, tell us about the surprise that you planned for Lauren on her wedding day.
Yeah, so there was actually almost going to be two parts to it. One, Lauren was struggling throughout the week, especially the weeks leading up to not having her mom in attendance, and we wanted, and I knew, we wanted to keep the day sacred. We wanted to keep it close, have it really special between the two of us. But me knowing that my dad was going to be there, I thought to myself, hey, let's, incorporate her mom one way or another. So we suggested the FaceTime, and coincidentally, towards the tail end of the week, Lauren suggested it. So it was like, okay, that worked out perfectly. The other half was, in hopes of, uplifting spirits because we're getting married in quarantine, right? You get married, and then what? There's no cake, there's no dance, there's no party. So the thought was to surprise her with friends and family coming in that were local, stay in their cars, maybe do a honk, a few held up signs, just to surprise her and remind her of the love that we have here locally.
Most definitely.
Outside of, the family that's afar.
So that was a really nice.
Thank you.
Yeah.
No, it was great. I know, it was met with a lot of emotions because, we wanted that time, in a time where you really want to spend that with your family, with your mother, with your father, with your siblings, with your aunts, uncles, those that raised you. They weren't there. But the outpouring of love that we received from everyone was amazing.
It was. It really was very special. And then following your marriage ceremony, you guys went and took photos with Terry.
She's amazing. We love Terry. I feel like she's family now. So that was really fun because it really gave us an opportunity. Our engagement photos didn't really feel like a photo shoot. It was a proposal
in Italy.
Yes, it was amazing. So it felt more natural in Italy, whereas this was a lot more intentional. Like, hold his hand, walk by, touch your hip, and like. So I was like, I'm such an amateur. Like, I literally did not know what to do, and it was our first time kind of like meshing together.
Really?
And so, because Italy felt more like.
Oh, it was a lot more relaxed.
Yeah, it was like we were just riding horses, or we were just, you know what I mean? Like it didn't feel. They didn't coach us at all that I can recall. So to have Terry really take the time and intentionality to like coach us and tilt your head, put your hip, do this, do that. That was like a first time experience.
Prepared you for your wedding day.
It did, and that's what she said. She's like, "Oh, you're gonna be ready," And so it was really sweet to have her there, and particularly to like take the risk, right? To put herself on the front lines for us on our special day. So that really meant a lot to us, and we had such a good time with her.
Yeah, the pictures were gorgeous,
Yes,
gorgeous.
amazing.
So since you all had this wonderful ceremony with just the two of you, what advice would you give couples that are thinking about doing this option as well? With our newly launched package, I've had a couple bookings already.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so what advice would you give them? How would you prepare them for their day, since it's not with all of their loved ones as they intentionally thought they would be?
Right. I think for me, it was an easy decision to move forward with our day, but I still had to go through the grieving process of what the vision was and like relinquishing that into a postponement.
Right.
So I think, for me, it's feel the feels, right? So like have that experience of grieving what you invested so much money and time and Pinterest and all, whatever, have that feeling, but just focus on what's important, and that's like building your life together and starting off a life with solely just you and your partner, and take advantage of the time of being in quarantine, because I don't think, we will ever have this much time together, of course on a trip, but like in our home, building our space together. We will never have this again unless we took the time from work. And so it's just been really sweet to just say like, oh, we're married, and it was, not what we wanted in terms of like time and place, but it was for us and it worked out.
Oh, so cute. And what they didn't mention is that Warren decided to surprise Lauren with a hotel suite. So like a little honeymoon. She thought she was staying at one hotel and started calling the hotel. Like, oh, I'm staying there. They're like, yeah, we're closed. I don't know what
I wanted to check in early.
In reality, he booked them at the Four Seasons in DC. So with being booked at the Four Seasons in DC, I went and decorated their hotel suite, which is a nice enhancement you can add. And we had cake and open cute gifts, but unfortunately did you guys go to your favorite restaurant?
No, we didn't.
But their restaurant, so they have a top tier like steakhouse bourbon,
right?
And so they were open, and so they were able to cater. They brought a table into the room,
right? And
so thank you for the cake, the candles, the flowers,
You're welcome.
Balloons, the gifts, the like confetti. It was amazing. It really, I was like, the petals.
Yeah,
it was so nice. It was so worth that enhancement.
Oh, you're welcome. Well, I just want to thank you guys again for being on Astonishing Q&A and sharing your experience with the world. And hopefully that others are looking forward to doing the same experience that you guys had, and just knowing that marriage is a commitment and the celebration can always come later. So with that being said, I have a thank you card for you guys. You can open it.
Awesome.
And on it, you can just read it, because that's what it tells you. Yeah.
So pretty. Thank you.
Thank you, Be Astonished Events. Mr. and Mrs. Anderson, congratulations on your wedding day.
Oh, it's our favorite restaurant. Thank you so much.
So they love Mastro's, and since they weren't able to eat there on their wedding night, I have a little treat for you. So
awesome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Well, thank you guys again, and congratulations, Mr. and Mrs. Anderson.
Thank you.